state, you'll head to the Inland Empire, where the noise and emissions from freight trucks have become more common as giant warehouses displace homes and rural lots. KPECC's Sharon McNary reports from Bloomington.
Sitting in the shade of her backyard patio, Cruz Baca Cimbello looks left and sees her neighbors' homes and trees. She can hear roosters and sometimes horses.
It's very peaceful here, and in my later years, that's what I want.
But when she looks right, the towering white and gray wall of a warehouse next door dominates the view. It even blocks the very first rays of the rising sun. It went up about 5 years ago, and since then it's been round-the-clock trucks and truck noise.
In the middle of the night or whatever hours of the morning, the whole house starts to shake from the trucks going through there. And the sound when they're backing up and that beeping, it's very, very noisy.
She inherited the place from her parents with plans to retire there, but now those plans are in doubt. A property broker has been hounding her to sell. A developer has included her property and that of more than 100 other families within his plan to rezone 213 acres of rural Bloomington to industrial uses so he can build warehouses. To visualize the scale, that's nearly 3 million square feet of warehouse, manufacturing, and office space, 46 football fields of interior space. The broker that's bugging Cimbello is offering over $1 million, nearly double the property's estimated value. Some of her neighbors are happy to take the money and leave, but she wants to stay.
It's a lot of money, but at this point in my life, I don't think it's worth me giving up my peace and the way I want to live.
The developer says he's already signed up enough property owners to make his project work. He can't force Cimbello to sell, but the zoning under her house could be changed to industrial, and her home could end up surrounded by more warehouses. Why is Bloomington in the crosshairs of the warehouse industry? Location mostly. It's close to freeways, Ontario International Airport, and railroad lines. It's on the route for goods that come into the ports of LA and Long Beach to the rest of the country. E-commerce companies like Amazon locate there to speed up deliveries to online shoppers. Cities and counties tend to want the jobs that warehouses bring, even though opponents say they tend to offer low pay and few benefits. I met Cimbello through Faraz Rizvi, an organizer with the Center for Community Action and Environmental Justice. He says the entire Riverside-San Bernardino area is a magnet for warehouses and their trucks and emissions, adding to the poor air quality and high rate of respiratory illnesses.
The Inland Empire, it's cheap labor, it's cheap land, and it's a lot of space.
So if it's a foregone conclusion that warehousing is going to cover this area, what are you really fighting for?
The communities here don't like it, they don't want it, and they should have a voice in the proceedings that happen, and we're going to continue to fight for that no matter what.
So ultimately, the fight becomes about concessions that can be wrung from the developers. Those developers know those demands are coming, and they talk up the environmentally friendly features of their warehouses.
We will be making an investment in green technologies that older areas within the basin just don't have.
That's the developer of this project, Tim Howard. He says his warehouses will be super modern with skylights, LED lighting, solar power. And he's pledging nearly $20 million for sewer construction, new roads, and sidewalks, plus better than average wages for the area.
The jobs that would be produced, the typical wage would be $54,000.
That's about $26 an hour, about $10 more than the average hourly wage that inland warehouse jobs pay right now. Of course, all those promises don't become real until they're part of the developer's agreement with the county. And until then, the environmental justice group will push the county to deny the project or add in even more concessions for those who remain behind to face the traffic and noise of more trucks going to more warehouses. Covering infrastructure, I'm Sharon McNary.
If you've watched any baseball games lately, you're not seeing many fans wearing masks. KPECC's John Horn reports the Oscars ceremony will also be noticeably light on face coverings.
The producers of the Oscars have made several things very clear, including COVID tests for everyone and no zooming in to the April 25th ceremony. But when it comes to nominees and presenters wearing masks, that's when the guidance turns murkier. In a weekend news conference, co-producer Steven Soderbergh, who directed the pandemic movie Contagion 10 years ago, said that masks will play a very important role in the ceremony and are central to the narrative. What that Oscar narrative might be